Pause for words, either spoken or written.
So I let it go.
Yeah. All righty, let's get started today. I asked Terry Bertles to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance this morning.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome to the February 10th, 2014 meeting of the Shawnee County Board of Commissioners. My name is Bob Archer. I currently serve as chairman of the commission and represent District 3. I serve with Commissioner Kevin Cook, who represents District 2, and Commissioner Shelley Bueller, who represents District 1. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
First item, please.
Item 3, consent agenda.
Are there questions or comments?
I have no questions. Move approval.
Second.
Motion made to approve the consent agenda as presented by Commissioner Bueller, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye, opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Item 4, new business. A, county clerk. Number 1, consider all voucher payments.
Mr. Chairman, this morning we have vouchers that total $1,075,340.56. All of my questions have been answered. I would move for their approval.
Second.
Motion made to approve the vouchers by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye, opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Number 2, there are no correction orders. Item B, Public Works, Solid Waste. Number 1, consider authorization and execution of Contract C-65, 2014 with Finney and Turnipseed Transportation and Civil Engineering, LLC for professional design services in an amount of $96,300 for the Southwest 77th Street Bridge over Middle Branch of the Wakarusa River project.
Commissioners, Tom Block with Public Works and Solid Waste. This item, as well as the following two, are similar in nature in that we had 4 bridge projects that are scheduled for construction or reconstruction next year. We submitted or we issued requests for proposals to do the design and construction engineering services for these 4 bridges. The technical selection committee met. If you recall, a couple of weeks back, we recommended and the commission approved one project go to Cook Flat and Strobel. The other 3 we feel are best suited for Finney and Turnipseed. We have used them. They're a local firm here. We have used them on numerous projects. They're a very reputable firm and do very good work for us. All the funding for all 3 projects will come from the half-cent sales tax program. This particular project is located at the intersection of Southwest 77th and Docking Road. So if there's any questions regarding this one, I'd be happy to try to answer them.
I have no questions.
Just have one.
Yes, Commissioner.
Project schedule. When's it scheduled?
All will be in 2015, the construction.
Any particular month, though, that
Typically, we like to get our project started in March, and depending on, a lot of them might depend on permitting. If there's certain species and streams, it might require us to start toward the end of July. But if we can, we like to get going at the beginning of the year. So I guess to answer your question, we really won't know until we get further in design and get permitting.
thanks, Tom.
Through.
The only question I had is, are you going to make a plug for the sales tax extension after this one or after the third one?
All 3.
Okay. Yeah, I think
But
some
I
things
will
need
do
to
it
be
now. I will
hammered
do it.
home.
I will do it now because, like I said, the next 2 are exactly the same type of request. But yes, if it were not for the sales tax program, these 3 bridges plus the one approved a couple of weeks ago, I really don't know where the funding would come from. And from a public works standpoint, the amount of work we have been allowed, or been able to accomplish as a result, as a direct result of the sales tax, has been insurmountable. We will, I think we're getting into 70 bridges replaced. And if we were able to have an extension, our belief is that we would have the county set up for the next 50 to 75 years from a bridge infrastructure standpoint. And if we did not have this current sales tax, unless the commission was able to find and approve some alternate funding source, a lot of these bridges probably would end up being closed. And having detours is very detrimental to economic activity in the county, so.
Thank you, Tom. I don't think we can overstate the importance of taking care of our infrastructure, and this half-cent sales tax allows us to do that. It is very important.
I might just add, a lot of emphasis is put on the half-cent sales tax for economic development purposes, but roads and bridges are equally as important, and I think this is a real success story with the projects that we have completed. It
Well, and people,
really is.
you don't really think of infrastructure as economic development, but
It is.
infrastructure really is economic sustainability.
Yeah, it's equally important.
Because the added costs that come from having an inadequate infrastructure, although they're hard to really peg, they are very real and very expensive.
But actually, more money goes towards those two projects than economic development, I believe.
It's almost 2 to 1.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You've talked about replacing 70 bridges or more, and putting us on a timetable to where we are looking ahead for the next 20 years. And that's with what we have done under the half-cent sales tax. As we look forward, are there still more bridges and public works projects to tackle?
Oh, yes, there are several. Yes, there's I would say almost possibly an equal amount. And as time, and if an extension was approved, you'd still, throughout the duration of the extension period, Mother Nature keeps hammering away at our infrastructure. So even though one bridge might be fine in a couple of years, 10 years from now it may not be, or 15 years from now it may not be. So yes, there's always a need for infrastructure work.
So we shouldn't be considering this as being a project that's complete and done, that everything is, we have nothing more to do for the next 20 years.
No, we always have something to do.
Yeah. Can I hear a motion?
I would move for approval of the contract with Finney and Turnip Seed for the 77th Street Bridge over Middle Branch of the Wakarusa River.
Second.
Motion to approve the contract by Commissioner Cook and seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye. Opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Number 2, consider authorization and execution of contract C-66, 2014 with Finney and Turnip Seed Transportation and Civil Engineering, LLC for professional design services in an amount of $76,150 for the Southwest Urish Road Bridge over a tributary to the Kansas River project.
Commissioners, this is a similar request. This particular bridge is located about 3/8 of a mile north of 10th and Urish. So if there's any questions regarding this one, I'd be happy to answer them.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion made to approve the contract by Commissioner Bueller, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Number 3, consider authorization and execution of contract C-67, 2014 with Finney and Turnip Seed Transportation and Civil Engineering, LLC for professional design services in an amount of $94,500 for the Southwest Glick Road Bridge over the Wakarusa River project.
Commissioners, again, this third request is similar to the first two. This particular bridge is about a half-mile south of Southwest 89th and Glick. So any questions regarding this one, I'd be happy to answer them.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Cook and seconded by Commissioner Bueller to approve the contract. All in favor say aye, opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you.
Next item.
Item C, Parks and Recreation, number 1, consider approval of emergency purchase for repairs to a heating system in the Maynard Conference Center in an amount of $1,700.
Good morning, Commissioners. John Knight, Parks and Recreation. If you have any questions, Terry Bertles is here as well, could answer some detailed questions. But we had a heater unit in Maynard Conference Center, needs some emergency repair. Checked with Audit Finance, and that's what you have before you this morning.
Questions or comments?
I have no questions. I would move for approval of the emergency repair.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Cook and seconded by Commissioner Bueller to approve the emergency purchase. All in favor say aye, opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Number 2, consider approval to solicit bids for repair to sports fields at an estimated cost of $18,000.
Commissioners, we're looking at making repairs to 2 fields, the Jerry Robertson Field at the Bettis Sports Complex and the large number 1 field at the Lake Shawnee Girls Complex. Both of those are the large netting systems behind home plate. Many years ago, you would have seen them using chain link for those type of backstop, but now we use a netting. It's a lot more viewer friendly, those type of things. But we also want to use at this opportunity a chance to install some pulley systems, which will make us be able to more safely change those, keep those nettings more tighter during the season, all of those type of things. Be happy to answer any other questions you may have.
Are these new netting systems, are they more durable than what we've used in the past? Can we expect a longer life? Tell us a little bit about
Well,
that.
the netting is not as durable as the chain link. That provides a better viewing. It's better for all of the participants. But over the course of time, I think it's probably a break even on the cost type situation. No, you're going to get 3 to 5 years out of the netting systems. They're left out in the weather. They get beat up. So, especially on the larger fields, they'll have a lot more balls hit into them than they do on some of the smaller fields.
Okay. Commissioner?
Thank you. John, can you tell us about the pulleys and how this is installing a whole new system for your fields?
Well, it's adding pulleys to the existing system. Currently, they're put up there. We'll get aerial truck. We'll pull all the cables tight and leave the netting hang there. What we'll be able to do with this new system, if we add some pulleys, we'll be able to perform that from the ground. We'll be able to tighten the nets as the season goes along. We'd even be able to take them down in the wintertime if we wanted to. It would cost a lot less in staff hours, a lot less in rentals, and even be safer process.
And I'm going to guess that we probably shouldn't have the aerial trucks out on our sports fields.
Not on the sports field. Some of them are a little bit easier to get to from the outside, but Jerry Robertson Field and this complex, both of these two are really hard to get to with the aerial truck. But yes, you shouldn't drive anything on to the artificial turf.
And so this is going to be better for our fields, too.
Absolutely.
Good point.
I would move for approval of the expense for the netting for the 2 complexes.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Cook to approve the solicitation of bids, seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye. Opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Number 3, consider approval to purchase insurance from K&K Insurance for coverage for the Kansas Senior Olympic activities in an amount of $1,352.
Commissioners, as part of our operation of the Kansas Senior Olympics, the National Senior Olympics require this additional insurance. Staff has visited with the counselor's office. They've reviewed the documents. We look at this as an event expense, so we'll factor that in when we set fees for participation. Be happy to answer any other questions you may have.
Move approval.
Second.
This is included in the fee to participate in the Senior Olympics.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Motion made by Commissioner Bueller and seconded by Commissioner Cook to approve the motion. All in favor say aye. Opposed, say no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Thank you, Commissioners.
John.
Item D, County Counselor. Number 1, consider approval of request to fill a vacant legal secretary position at a salary of $36,883.40, including benefits.
Good morning, Commissioners. Rich Eckert, County Counselor. I lost my very competent legal secretary. Some would say that she was promoted by the health agency. Others would say she was stolen.
Well, what do you say?
Stolen!
Thank you.
Regardless, I now have a vacancy in my office. This is the front mainline person who directs all the traffic. Additionally, they are a mainstay in the tax process, very involved in the tax sales and fields all the questions that come into the office concerning properties. So it's a very important position in my office. If you have any questions, I'd be glad to answer them.
Commissioner?
I have no questions, and I think that this is actually, while it's a negative to your office, losing such a competent staff, it's a positive to the county in that we are able to promote and develop employees and so that they can have expanded responsibilities, and she's a great addition, or will be a great addition to the health department. And so I'm glad that we were able to keep her within the county system. And so hopefully we can continue to do this with other departments as well.
We're going to go look for another one, hopefully.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion made to approve by Commissioner Bueller and seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item.
Administrative Communications.
Are there administrative communications this morning?
I have none.
Wow.
Quiet.
Next item this morning.
Executive Sessions.
Is there a need for an executive session? Then we are adjourned. Thank you.